Friends, this is Frederick Henry, and thank you for tuning into the Frederick Henry podcast. And today I'd like to do a reflective piece about colleges. What happened was I was driving along listening to my favorite program, Rush Limbaugh, and he was talking about the effect of communism, socialism, fascism on college students. And he claimed and made assertions that professors, teachers, courses, administrators, textbooks, all are bent toward teaching our children to hate America and to love socialism, fascism, communism, under all different kinds of names, Black Lives Matter, or whatever. And as I listened to him, I was reminded of something I felt for a long time. So let me start at the beginning of that as to how did we get to the point of giving our children over to the colleges. Now, I'm a white American. I have children, and I remember way back, I'm 73 years old, so I remember way back when I was like 23 and I had my children, my wife and I would talk about how important it is to send our children to nursery school. We have to give our kids a head start. We have to give them a leg up. We have to give them an advance. So my first child went to nursery school at age 2.5. She did very well and she excelled in nursery school, and we used to encourage her to excel because we believed it was important for her to get a leg up, to get a head start, and we believe in the ability of the human person to learn from a very early age. And so we involved ourselves in a very reputable nursery school, and she went to nursery school 3 days a week. It was an excellent nursery school. And then subsequently moved to another community, and we put her in a pre-K program with the same idea. And we used to say to her, do well, succeed, work hard, pay attention, and socialize, get involved. The teacher is very important. And we used to say the teacher is very important, and the teacher is very important, and pay attention to what the teacher says. Now, this child of ours, as all of our children did the same, went to a public school. We had debated about doing a private school, but we decided that a public school was just as good, and we would take care of the religious aspects at home, and we would take care of the philosophical aspects at home. So, when our child went to public school, we used to say, pay attention to the teacher, do well, become a monitor, become a class officer, even at the first, second, and third grade level, volunteer a lot, work hard, your teacher, because we said it was very important for the child to do that in order to succeed in the world. So in the first instance at pre-K, nursery school, we were saying the teacher is extremely important and you must pay close attention to the teacher. In the pre-K, we said the teacher is very important. You must pay very close attention to the teacher because the teacher is important. In the elementary grades up to age 5th grade, I remember 5th grade was the marking point for me. We kept saying, work hard, learn to read, learn to write, reading, writing, arithmetic, drill down, do a good job, listen to your teacher. Teacher is important, teacher is important. In the 5th grade, my child came home and there was a note on her report card that she had a C in reading. And I knew that was absurd, so I went to the teacher, and I said to the teacher, sir, I said, I don't understand. My child is in the top reading level. Let's say 30 students in the class. She said, he said, yes, she is. She is the top reader in that class. And then I said, okay. And then what happened? How come she has a C? Well, she's not doing as well compared to other students in other classes in the top reading group. I said, wait a minute. So I said to the fellow, listen, sir, there's 30 students in this class. My child is the top reader. In the 5th grade, she's reading at the 10th grade level. Is that correct? Yes. Testing shows she's reading at the 10th grade level. Yes. So you're telling me that my child can get a C in the 5th grade because she's compared to other students in the top level among all the 5th grade classes, although in her own class, she's the top of every one of the students in the class. He said, yes. I said, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question, sir, and then I will be satisfied with the answer. Was there any students who got an A in reading? He said, yes, in first grade level, second grade level, third grade level, fourth grade level. In my own classroom, A, B, C, D group, they all had students who got A. However, I said to him, okay, I got that. So you have maybe 3 or 4 or 5 students in your class who got an A in reading. However, my child, who is the very top reader in the class and reads 5 grade levels above all the other students in the class, got a C. Well, she's not the top of her group within all those at the top of the group. I said, this is absurd. It's absurd. And then he had the audacity to look at me and say, oh, so it's all about the grade, is it? It's all about the grade. I said, yes, of course it's all about the grade. And it's all about the grade for you as well. You are telling me that a student of yours in your classroom with 30 students who reads 5 grade levels above the closest student in her class can get a C, and 5 other students in that same class can get an A because they read at the top of their level. So they may be reading at the first grade level or the second grade level or the fourth grade level in the 5th grade, and they'll get an A. But my child, who's reading at the 10th grade level in the 5th grade, gets a C. Yes, he said. I said, this is patently unfair, and I'm going to make a strenuous objection. Oh, I know. It's all about the grades for you folks. All you care about is the grades. And I was so angry, I went to the principal and I objected, and my child was given an A because she had achieved the top of the top in her grade level. She was reading 5 grade levels above every other student in a 30-student class. And yet 5 other students were given A, she was given a C. It does not reflect, the C does not reflect, well, this is a C because she's reading at the 10th grade level. It just says, compared to the other 29 students in the class, she gets a C. And 5 of her classmates who are reading 1 or 2 grade levels behind her, maybe at the 4th grade level, or even just at the 5th grade level, are getting an A. See, that's not taken into consideration. And the teacher was very adamant about that. Okay, so what happens then? This child goes on to middle school, and she writes a paper in the middle school, and I get a note home, congratulations, your student has done exemplary. Her paper has been chosen as the best paper in the 7th grade throughout the entire middle school. I said, okay, fine. It happened to be on the topic of abortion. Now, we are very strong people. We believe that abortion is infanticide. We believe that abortion is killing an infant child. And we strongly believe that that is wrong. And we taught our child that. And she did a lot of research, Planned Parenthood, a doctor's level, everything else. We helped her with a lot of the research. She wrote a very excellent paper. I think it was about 15 pages long for a 7th grader. For goodness sake, I didn't write the paper, my folks. She wrote it. The teachers acknowledged that structurally, grammatically, in terms of content, in terms of proof, anti-proof, in terms of citations, in terms of flow of information, in terms of excellence in every other category, she had exceeded every other student at the 7th grade level. Okay, on the parents' night, I went to school, and I saw a B paper on the bulletin board. I saw a C paper on the bulletin board. I saw all kinds of other papers on the bulletin board. My child's paper was not posted on the bulletin board. I went to the teacher, I said, sir, I want to understand something. Why is my student, who has succeeded above all the other students in the 7th grade level, 4 classes of 30 students, so it's 30, 60, 90, 120 students. She's the top of 120 students. Her paper is not posted, being the top paper. Now, this teacher said, well, sir, we gave her an A. I said, well, I appreciate that. She got an A. But why is everybody else's paper posted, but hers is not? Well, sir, we find the topic to be controversial. And although it's the top grade of the top 120 students, and she deserves the A above all the other students, we posted the other students' paper because theirs was pedestrian and ordinary. Hers was outstanding but controversial. So already at the 7th grade level, we're experiencing this unbelievable prejudice on the part of teachers in the school system. Okay, but we went ahead and we said, well, exceed. She went to high school. She did very, very well. And she got A in many, many, many classes. And one day, The National Honor Society person came to us and said, National Honor Society person came to us and said, "We're very sorry, your student has produced a paper of extraordinary excellence, deep thinking, and expanding ideas, but it's controversial, and so we're not going to be able to publish that paper in the high school magazine." I said, wait a minute, hold on. She's an 11th grader. She's produced the best paper in the 11th grade on a controversial topic. You grade her A, double plus, worthy of recognition by the governor, recognition by the State Honor Society, but you won't yes, because it's controversial and we don't want to offend anybody. So this is the third time now that my child is being punished for excelling, and she's being punished because her ideas are controversial and do not agree with the accepted philosophical concepts of the teachers and the teachers in all the schools. Okay, let's go on to college. We go on to college now, and she excels in college. Now, I'm going to stop there and just say what happened all along the way. In nursery school, we said, listen to the teachers, they're the people who should be listened to. In pre-K, in elementary school, in the middle school, in the high school, and in college, we, the parents, continuously reinforce the idea that the teacher is important, the teacher is to be listened to, the teacher is to be, you're to absorb the wisdom of the teacher, and you're to gain the approval of the teacher in every possible way. Now think about that, my friends. We are teaching our children to listen to people, to obey people, to appreciate people, to honor people, and to obey people when they're the teachers, these people, their intention is to undermine everything that we have taught our child value-wise. The teachers, in every case, undermined, subverted, and tried to destroy the values, the morals, the concepts, the qualities that we gave to our child. Now, they recognized their academic excellence, but they rejected their concepts, their philosophy, their religious convictions, and their morals, and therefore they punished them. And yet, we, the parents, continuously and constantly told our child, well, just get through it, get the approval, get the A, succeed, go ahead, let the teacher say, listen to the teacher, obey the teacher, you have to get the A, you have to get the A, you have to succeed, because the teacher is the most important factor in your development. Not me, not your mom, not your grandpa, not your grandma, not your pastor, the teacher. So what I'm saying here in this example is that we, and I'm talking to Rush Limbaugh now, I love the guy, he's a great guy, he had a great concept, a great program, but we, the parents, have been complicit and compliant, and we have been contributors to the subversion of the values, the moral values, the religious values, the philosophical values, the societal values of our own children. We have invested in our child from the time they were 2 years old, 2.5 years old, the idea that the teacher knows best. The teacher is the truth. The teacher is the arbiter of the truth. The teacher is the teacher of moral values. The teacher is the guru. And the most important thing is to gain the confidence and to give obedience to the teacher and the teacher's teaching. So now we have this experience where we're closing down our schools, we're having homeschooling, we're having, maybe without going back to school, we're having all kinds of opportunity now to have parental values, parental concepts, parental philosophies inculcated into our children. And I believe we should take advantage of this. And maybe from this whole COVID-19 and the lockdown, the shutdown, all this kind of stuff, we will see an opportunity for we, the parents, to say, wait a minute, hold on, stop. The teacher is not the arbiter of the truth. The teacher is not the truth. The approval of the teacher is not the most essential thing in the world. We do not have to obey. We do not have to give a knee. We do not have to